Welcome to your ultimate pit stop, Piston Pundit, where we delve into the heart of the automotive world. Today, we're taking a hard look at the electric vehicle market, which seems to be hitting a few speed bumps. Dealerships are feeling the pinch as EVs gather dust in their lots. And it's not just the manufacturers who are seeing red. Here's a breakdown of the 8 key factors driving this trend. Factor number 8, the used EV market stalls. The second-hand EV market in the US is showing signs of maturity as early adopters trade in their old models for the latest releases. From 2011 to 2021, new EV sales skyrocketed from roughly 22,000 to over 2 million, and the used EV market is expected to follow suit. In fact, used vehicle sales made up a whopping 71% of all sales and leases in 2019. Despite subsidies of up to $4,000 for used EVs, potential buyers, particularly those in the lower income bracket, remain skeptical about the benefits of these vehicles and are deterred by the price tag. A study from Rutgers University, New Brunswick, published in the journal Transportation Research Part D, Transport and Environment, reveals that price, charging availability, and battery performance are the biggest concerns for buyers considering a used EV. Wei-San Lo, senior statistician at the University of Michigan, notes, while the transition to electric vehicles is an important piece of reducing greenhouse gas emissions, the market for used electric vehicles in the US remains dominated by wealthy households. Factor number 7, the decline of EVs. The EV market is facing a significant hurdle. Contrary to expectations, the market isn't growing as anticipated. In fact, for the first time in years, we're seeing not just a slowdown, but an actual decline. The first quarter of this year saw a 15% decrease in sales compared to the last quarter of 2024, with a total of 268,909 new EVs sold. This puts the market share at 7.3%, a drop from the previous year. Compared to the impressive growth rates of 46.4% and 80% in 2023 and 2022 respectively, it's clear that the EV market has hit a roadblock. As the era of early adopters ends and the middle class steps up, EVs are struggling to appeal to the masses. We'll delve into this further shortly. Factor number 6, high prices persist. In recent months, EVs have seen significant price cuts, with Tesla leading the charge. Despite a 13.5% price drop from the previous year, EVs remain costly for the average buyer. The average EV price hovered just above $55,000 in the first quarter of this year, a 9% year-over-year decrease. Yet, even with substantial incentives, like Ford's up to $15,000 discount on the F-150 Lightning, ICE and hybrid cars remain more affordable. The rise in leased EVs, now at 27%, further highlights the high cost of EV ownership, despite the $7,500 federal tax credit from the Inflation Reduction Act. Factor number 5, dealer lots overflowing. The COVID-19 pandemic and subsequent events, including the Ukraine war, led to a disruption in supply chains and a limited production of electric cars. This was a boon for dealers, who were able to mark up prices due to high demand and low supply. However, the tables have turned. With supply chains stabilizing and production increasing, dealer lots are now overflowing with unsold EVs. As a result, we're seeing record-high market day supply for electric vehicles, with some sources suggesting numbers well over 130. In short, EVs are stuck in dealer lots, and both dealers and automakers are ready to offer massive discounts just to clear their inventory. Before we delve deeper, do us a favor and smash that like and subscribe button. This helps us reach more auto enthusiasts just like you. Now let's shift gears and steer towards our next point. Factor number 4, the complexities of EV repair and maintenance. Chat with any dealer, and you'll quickly discover that EVs introduce a whole new set of challenges. Gone are the days of routine maintenance services like oil changes and brake pad replacements, which were once a steady source of income for dealerships. Instead, EV repairs have become a complex affair. Traditional mechanical knowledge often falls short when it comes to the software issues that plague electric cars. Dealerships find themselves navigating uncharted territory, sometimes waiting weeks for manufacturers to provide solutions to problems they can't fix themselves. Moreover, EVs don't bring in the same service revenue, and the repairs they do require are often complex and not worth the hassle. Add to this the significant investment required to install charging infrastructure, and it's clear why many dealerships are having second thoughts about their EV ventures. Factor number 3, the challenges of selling EVs. Selling electric cars is no walk in the park. Unlike the straightforward process of selling ICE cars, which typically involves a test drive and some paperwork, selling EVs is a more demanding and time-consuming affair. EVs are still a novelty to most potential buyers, who often need multiple visits to the dealership before they feel comfortable making a purchase. This puts a strain on salespeople, who find themselves working 4 times as hard for the same commission. It's no wonder that some dealerships like Ford are reconsidering their EV certification programs. Factor number 2, the rise of hybrids. While EVs struggle to find their footing, hybrids are enjoying a surge in popularity. As the early adopter phase for EVs winds down, it's becoming clear that these vehicles are still too expensive and offer too little in return for the average consumer. Customers are looking for affordability, convenience, and reliability, all things that hybrids offer in spades. Hybrids provide a gradual transition to greener mobility without the range anxiety and reliability issues associated with EVs. It's no surprise, then, that hybrids are growing at a much faster pace than EVs. With a 64% growth last year and a whopping 70% increase in the first quarter of this year, hybrids now make up more than 9% of the market. It's clear why most dealers would rather sell hybrids than EVs. Factor number 1, the high cost of battery replacement. One of the main factors that make EVs more expensive than their ICE counterparts is the cost of manufacturing large lithium-ion battery packs. While continual improvements aim to reduce the cost per kilowatt-hour to a point where EVs and ICE vehicles are on par, the potential replacement cost of an EV's battery is a deal-breaker for many consumers. Batteries don't last forever, and replacing a large battery pack out of warranty can cost tens of thousands of dollars. However, by the time an EV battery is degraded enough to cause concern, you may be ready to replace the car itself. Most automakers offer battery-specific warranties that last at least 8 years and cover 100,000 miles or more. In a worst-case scenario, if you had to spend $15,000 on a new battery pack for your 10-year-old EV with 150,000 miles on it, chances are you would have spent at least that much on a gas car over the years. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the automotive world. Don't forget to subscribe to Piston Pundit for the latest vehicle updates and upcoming videos. Until next time, keep your engines revving.